Well, there we are done. I popped into Jack in a Box to see what their vegetarian options were, and there weren't many. So I had a nice cup of coffee, and that's about it. So I figured that one of the downsides maybe of most of the Supercharger locations that I've been to so far is that they're usually by fast food restaurants. So I'd imagine that if I was a meat eater, that within about 2 years of Tesla ownerships, I would be a very unhealthy guy. So that's why I have to make smart options, or smart choices. So while I was in Jack in a Box getting my coffee, someone parked 4 down from me, which I thought, whoa, that's really nice. However, 4 down from me was the shared Tesla number, so I was 2B, and he decided to pop into 2A, and I came back to my car and it was slow as molasses. It was even slow as molasses prior to anyone else being there. So I would say that the Burlington Supercharger location is one of the first of the Supercharger locations put into Washington State. I would say a couple, 3 years ago, maybe. I'll have to look that up. I'll use the Google. But it's very slow, and you take a look at Hope, British Columbia, it was charging at 500 kilometers an hour, and then the Tsawwassen Ferry Terminal Supercharger at Tsawwassen Mills was again like 400 and something, almost 500 kilometers an hour. And this one here really struggled to get 250 kilometers an hour charge. So one other thing that I noticed is that I was under the impression that superchargers always charged to the maximum amount, like to 100%. So I have my set up that it charges up to, I think it's 80% or 80 or 90% when I'm at home or using a community charger. And I was under the impression that it didn't matter what I set the charge rate or size to, is that superchargers would always charge to 100%. Well, that's not true, because before I mistakenly kept it at 80% or 90%, I don't know, 80% probably, and the supercharger switched off at 80% while I was getting my coffee. So when I came back to the car, I saw that Dingle Nuts had shared my charger, and B, that the charging had stopped. So I had to move to like 1A and plugged it back in just to get an extra, 50 or 60 kilometers on there. But yeah, very slow location. I would imagine that if you got here, if you're doing a road trip and you're making your way back from somewhere and heading towards Vancouver, and it's in the middle of the night where nothing much is open here, I think you'll be sitting in your car cleaning your 17-inch monitor for about an hour. It's ridiculously slow. Anyway, I hope that helped. I'm going to do a few more. I still got to do the Squamish, British Columbia Supercharger test. And I see that there's another one around here that's only 37 kilometers away. So I might do that this trip. If not, I'll do another trip for you guys. Anyway, thanks. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, cheers. Bye.